Welcome to Seize the Mains by Raj Malhotra's IS Academy. I'm Surbhi Sardana and this is Season 3 of our Daily Answer Writing Initiative. This initiative works in coordination with our website called rajisacademy.com. On our website, in the mains answer writing section, you'll see a list of questions including the question that we will be discussing today. What you can do is that after watching this video, you can write your own answer and post it on our website, and our team will evaluate it and respond to you with our valuable feedback in the next 48 hours. So that's how the initiative runs. Also, if you want full clarity on the question that is being discussed here, you can refer to our YouTube channel Weekly Current Affairs playlist. The previous lecture on environment deals with coastal regulation zones and coastal erosion. The one that was taken on Saturday about general current affairs. So the question for today is, coastal areas are fragile ecosystems that need to be protected. Enlist the measures taken by various governments in this regard. See, recently there was a report that coastal erosion is at all times high in India. Coastal areas जो हैं वहाँ पर soil erosion बहुत ज़्यादा हो रही है. So अगर coastal areas में erosion हो रही है, means the type of land that you have there, the area of land is getting eroded. तो आपके पास जो land area है coastal areas में वो time के time कम होता जा रहा है. So population, people will have lesser time to settle there. उनके पास घर बनाने के लिए, industries develop करने के लिए, रहने के लिए बहुत कम land होगा. So a lot of rehabilitation has to be carried out if erosion is not stopped. Also, coastal areas are prone to other risks like climate change and बहुत सारी ऐसी चीज़ें हैं जो coastal areas के ecosystems को fragile बनाती हैं. And government ने बहुत सारे steps लिए हैं. That is what its question is about. That what are the enlist the measures taken by various governments. Various governments here means Indian government, central government and state government, and by various governments in this regard. So the question has to be answered in 250 words, but what you have to remember is that this question has two parts. The first part has almost 1/3 of the marks to it, and the second part has almost 2/3 of the marks to it. So let's see how we'll approach. In the introduction, we'll talk about the coastal areas of India. India में coastal areas किस areas में पाए जाते हैं, इनकी speciality क्या है. And then we'll talk about the importance of coastline or coastal areas to India. How many cities are there, or what kind of activities can be carried out in coastal areas, and what makes them so fragile, what makes them prone to erosion, and what are the steps taken by the government. So this answer will have the following parts. When it comes to introduction, do not confine yourself कि इंडिया का coastline कितना है. India has a coastline of around 7,500 km, as you can see here. Also, you don't have to worry about reading the whole answer. It is there on our website. So out of 7,500 km, it's 5,700 जो है आपका mainland पर है. Rest of it is around Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Lakshadweep. उनकी जो territories हैं उस area में coastline है. And this belt comprises a wide range of ecosystems. So ecosystems are of utmost importance to us. And the coastline of India can be, differentiated into three types: the west coast, the east coast, and then the islands. So the west coast, what is the feature of west coast? The feature of west coast is that it has wide continental shelf and it is marked by backwaters and mud flats. Especially here towards Kerala, there are a lot of backwaters. The east coast has, low-lying lagoons है, low-lying shelf है, low-lying coast है ये. And there are a lot of lagoons, marshes, beaches and deltas rich in mangrove forest. And across the islands के around we have coral reefs. So coral reefs can be found in Gulf of Kutch, around Gujarat, Gulf of Mannar in Tamil Nadu, Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Now these many details are not compulsory to be written in your answer, but they are important when you are talking about coastal areas of India. So you can choose any 2 to 3 lines out of this paragraph and inculcate them in your answer. So coral reefs, mangroves and whatever have we written here, lagoons, marshes, mangroves, they are all very fragile ecosystems which are rich in biodiversity. This is your introductory paragraph. Now body paragraph 1 will talk about importance of these fragile ecosystems. Also we'll turn the direction of our answer after body paragraph 1, that why are they needed, why are they the best spot to be settling down for people, why do people prefer settling in coastal areas, and hence their denudation or degradation. So they are under immense pressure today as a very large segment of the population tries to settle here. What are the reasons? First of all, scenic beauty. Everybody wants a beachside, a resort. You want to just stay there, or many people who can afford it want to settle there. Then there is the moderate weather. There is not a lot of changes in weather across the year, so there are lesser diseases also, because the more difference there is in the weather, the harsher climates we have, the harsher weather conditions we have, the more the diseases also, and the more the expenditures also according to the changing conditions. So moderate weather, very easy to function in this weather, plentiful and cheap seafood, innumerable opportunities for employment, because there are a lot of ports that are located in coastal areas and international trade वहाँ से हो सकता है. So people can be employed in a various number of jobs. Then there are fertile agricultural lands which are found besides coastal areas. Also many industries want to settle there because water is available in plenty. In fact, जो thermal or nuclear power plants है, they also need a lot of water. So these power plants are also set up near the coastal areas. So tourism also flourishes here, again aiding the economy and employment opportunities owing to all water related and sports related activities. So this was the importance. This is why. Now about the linkage point, is an introduction to your body paragraph. So the following steps have been taken by various governments for the protection of coastal areas. When we talk about the protection of coastal areas, the first thing that comes to our mind is the coastal regulation zone notification. Whichever is the latest notification, you can choose to write that. For now we have the 2019 notification of coastal regulation zone. So these notifications, they are issued under Environment Protection Act. Government of India under Environment Protection Act can choose to protect any kind of ecosystems which it finds is in a need of protection. So ये आपकी जो CRZ notifications है, they are issued under EPA 1986 Environment Protection Act to conserve and protect coastal areas, coastal stretches, marine areas, and to ensure livelihood security for people who have settled there. What it does is that it classifies coastal areas into various categories, and उस category के according permissions दी जाती हैं. According to the category, permissions are given that which industrial activity can be carried out, what kinds of buildings can be constructed or not constructed. A few years back, काफ़ी कुछ एक builders ने buildings create की हुई थी. Flats were there near and they were in the wrong coastal regulation zone. For their construction was not allowed. So Supreme Court ordered that these buildings will be brought down. So they were demolished. Though there were a lot of flats, there were a lot of people staying there, but they had to be demolished because they were against these rules. So setting up of industries and expansion of industries, this is all regulated by this notification. So talking about the details of coastal regulation zone notification is important, because here you can highlight that what are the detailed steps that government is taking, whether it is at the state, central or district level. In this notification itself, there are no development zones also along various categories of coastal areas to protect India's coastline from encroachment, erosion and accretion. Then you have bodies at central level, state level and district level जो कि अपनी अपनी responsibilities carry out कर रही होती है, and they keep on checking that if a permission has been given to a particular industry to construct something or to carry out some activity, is that industry complying with the permission या अपनी जो boundaries है वो breach तो नहीं कर रही है. Also we have like responsibilities regarding the sustainable development goals, so they are also looked by these agencies only, these committees only. The next one is delineation of hazard line. There is something called the hazard line which Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change delineates from time to time. आपके coastal area में एक hazard line mark कर दी जाती है, and अगर उससे ज़्यादा या कम पानी होता है उसके आगे एक तो construction activities allowed नहीं होती, and it is also indicative of the shoreline changes. including sea level rise due to climate change. So if water rises beyond that, chances of flood or denudation of land, the government, the state government or district government recognizes कि जो hazard line है वो cross कर दी गई है. Now we have to prepare for a natural hazard. Also the disaster management जो कि carry out होता है, disaster management committees, they check this hazard line from time to time and इसी के according disaster management activities carry out की जाती है. There is a national strategy in place for coastal protection along with guidelines for all coastal states and union territories. Again, this is by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. The fourth one, we have the flood management scheme by Ministry of Jal Shakti. So you can include this also, which includes anti-sea erosion schemes. It was recently in news because coastal erosion is in current affairs. It's we are seeing a lot of articles on a daily basis. Are planned and executed by the state government. So anti-sea erosion scheme under this flood management scheme of Ministry of Jal Shakti, that has come up. And considering the importance of collection of data कि कितना shoreline denude हो रहा है, कितना erosion हो रहा है, या coastal areas में क्या क्या activities carry out की जा रही हैं, there is this coastal management information system CMIS. Basically आपको data supply करता है about the activities that are being carried out on in coastal areas or whatever processes are there in the coastal area. So considering the importance of collection of data on coastal processes towards coastal protection, measures of a new component coastal management information system was initiated under the central sector scheme. The sixth one is your integrated coastal zone management plan. It is a process for the management of the coast using an integrated approach regarding all the aspects of coastal zone. वहाँ की environment कैसा है, pollution levels कितने हैं, what are the species which are residing there, कौन सी species vulnerable हैं which need to be protected, the geographical and political boundaries in an attempt to achieve sustainability. So basically integrated approach है, so it is headed towards sustainability. The next one is the National Center for Sustainable Coastal Management. It carries out research for sustainable coastal management. You can choose to include this in the sixth part itself or choose to write it separately. Also you can talk about some other organizations which are involved in management of coastal areas, any new app or mission that has been carried out by your state government or district government if you're residing in a coastal area. So these are the broad initiatives which have been brought up by the government from time to time, and their responsibilities also to carry out the protection and preservation of coastal areas. Now in conclusion you can emphasize on the importance of these areas. Just this was the data from Vikaspedia. They say that 1/5 of India's population lives along the coastline, and every now and then we are seeing a lot of tsunamis, not tsunamis but cyclones. The number of tropical cyclones, the intensity of tropical cyclones is increasing on the west coast also and on the east coast also. So these people need to be rehabilitated. The coastline has to be preserved by one way or the other, because erosion of coastline or degradation of ecosystems along coastline will just degrade the amount of land. It will delete the amount of land that we have available as part of the mainland India or as a nation. So that land gets denuded from time to time, ecosystems get devastated. So it is not in interest of human beings or the biodiversity and not in the interest of country. Hence protecting them from disasters and climate change is a priority. Also the diverse ecosystems located in the coastal belts demand utmost care. Coastal zone management is important to develop and sustainably utilize the coast for sustainable development. Now what you can suggest is use of technology, community involvement, that the community should be aware what was the sea level last year and now what is it. So on a national level climate change can be fought. Sea level rises are a big problem. Coordination of various governments, because there are committees, there are organizations at central, state and district level, but sometimes the coordination is lacking because there are delays in how the information is processed and how actions are taken. So that coordination, community participation, especially indigenous communities or local communities which are staying in coastal areas, involving them and telling them and understanding their needs, that is the need of the hour. And also rehabilitation measures need to be be carried out, because on yearly basis there are a lot of people in India which need rehabilitation along the coastline. So that needs to be carried out, and the coastline needs to be protected. And then you can talk about the coastal ecosystems, whether it's mangroves. Mangroves also, they for a long time we were seeing a lesser area for mangroves on an annual basis. Now that trend has stopped, it is not decreasing. Coral reefs also, due to the climate change, they are under threat. So every ecosystem has to be protected, the population, the human beings, the biodiversity, animal and plant biodiversity, because everything is in sync with each other. So just suggest your points in the conclusion or way forward. Talk specifically about solutions that you are giving, specific solutions for disasters, specific solution for biodiversity, and that will frame a good conclusion. Also, there is this Sustainable Development Goal 14, which is about life underwater. You can choose to write about it, and that's your answer. This is your full answer. The complete answer has been uploaded on the website. You can visit rajisacademy.com to read it out, copy it, and do share your answers with us. I'll see you tomorrow with another discussion. Till then, all the best.